I was supposed to do some chalk art outside today, but Florida had other plans and it's raining. So I took this driveway canvas session indoors with a whole lot of happy little improvising. We're doing a Bob Ross inspired chalk piece. Hi, I'm Lisa, a certified master chalk artist, and I love sharing my art and adventures. We're working on a piece of masonite board that I got from Home Depot, and it's 12 by 12, and I'm using the rough side and tools from my street painter starter kit. Let's get into it. I started by sketching out the basic shapes and mountains in the background, a peaceful lake, and a little space for flowers and plants in the foreground. Then I laid down a light layer of soft pastel for the sky. Using my trusty pool noodle, I blend everything together. Yep, no fancy tools here, just some chalk pastel, creativity, and a dollar store foam noodle. I started with bright white center for the sun and then softened the edges with a warm yellow halo to give the sky a gentle glow. Then I worked in the other colors a little bit more to make it almost look like a watercolor painting in the sky. Now for the mountains. I held the pastel sideways to carve out the highlights first, dragging the chalk like a palette knife would glide over a canvas. Then I went back in with some cooler tones for the shadows, giving them a bit more depth. As Bob would say, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. And let's be honest, every single piece of art that I make has at least one accident. You just learn to work it in and adapt. That's part of the process. Even though I haven't watched a ton of his episodes, Bob's style is unmistakable. There's something really calming about the way he encourages everyone. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying, experimenting, and letting yourself be surprised by what happens when you just make art. We can be our own worst critics, especially when we compare ourselves to the greats. But instead of copying them, let their work inspire you. Ask yourself, what about their painting draws me in? Is it the color, the movement, the feeling it gives you? Try using that as a jumping off point. Back to the piece. Down in the lake, I pulled those warm tones from the sky. Soft gold, a little bit of purple, and some reflection of the sun. That reflection pulls everything together like the whole scene is exhaling after a long day. I'm working on the background forest with a little pop of purple in the background there. I added some fun pops in the foreground, purple, fuchsia, and even some hot pinks dancing around the grasses and wildflowers. Honestly, most of it started as loose scribbles, but with a few blends and repeating tick marks, I shaped the foreground into a bright balance of color and contrast. See how it draws the whole picture together? And fun fact, Bob Ross once said he beat the devil out of his brush so often it became an inside joke. Pretty sure I've done the pastel version of that with my poor pool noodle. Almost forgot the clouds. Light, fluffy cotton candy scattered across the sky. As they drift towards the horizon, they get smaller, but near the top, big puffy ones closer to the viewer. I went back and added a nice yellow glow around the sun, and just like that, it's done. No mistakes, only happy accidents. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chalk art creative tips and colorful experiments. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time and have a fantastic day.